Hey guys, so I've got one question for you. Have you ever wanted to play a Total War campaign set right around the Ottoman siege of Constantinople in 1453, with either Mehmed the Conqueror with his massive bombards, or the naval superpowers of Venice or Genoa trying to save the final European bastion against the Ottoman rise in power, or even as the Romans themselves defending the mighty walls that have stood for centuries? Well, I'm here to tell you that with the newest and incredibly exciting release by the modding team behind Tsardoms Total War, you can finally do that. On a totally new campaign map with new mechanics, historical events, and dozens of new factions, with the building trees, extensive unit rosters, and with battles that are some of the best in the series, I guarantee that once you're done watching this video, you will have to check it out. 1448 Fall of Constantinople is a standalone mod downloadable from the Tsardoms ModDB page, which I've linked below in the video description. If this is your first time installing a mod on Medieval 2, all you need to do is essentially copy paste your Medieval 2 exe file here and change the name to Kingdoms. Then download the mod and unpack the zipped folder into your Medieval 2 mods folder here. And once you've done that, you should be good to go. Loading into the main menu here and clicking on the campaign, you can see the modders have done tons of work all these years to add some really impressive playable factions. Obviously, we've got the Romans and the Ottomans, the main stage players of this conflict, but there are other brilliant factions here as well that add tons of replayability. The Duchy of Florence, the Despotate of Epirus, Archduchy of Austria, Principality of Kiev, and even other Turkic Anatolian factions like the Beylik of Kandar in the north or the Karamans in the south. All in all, there are 28 factions to play here. That is huge, each with their own unique starting positions, situations, units, many of them with their own unique events as well. So some serious Total War content to get into. The campaign starts in the year 1448, 5 years before the fall of Constantinople, and of course is set on this beautiful custom-made campaign map that the Tsardoms team are so famous for in Medieval 2. It all comes with loads of little minor settlements here that armies can occupy dotted around, custom building and city models, which when you look at a city like Constantinople and its neighboring Galata occupied by the Genoese is just so impressive. And of course, completely custom-made unit models like generals, the various agent types, and it's all visually just so much to take in and so much to appreciate here when you load into your campaign. One of my favorite things about the mod though is that as the Ottomans or the Hungarians, as soon as you start up your campaign and you load in, you are thrown into a massive and super fun Battle of Kosovo. Now this is a turning point in the conflict between the Ottomans in their Balkan expansion as Sultan Murad II defeats the famous Hungarian general Hunyadi in a 3-day engagement, and I have to say, playing this battle to kick off your campaign, especially as the Ottomans, was just an incredibly fun time. You get some really nicely done historical immersion that puts you in the spot as the Ottoman Sultan, and you get a really great opportunity to get to know the Ottoman roster with its superior cavalry, the variety of infantry, and even a unit of bombards, which believe me when I say is such a fun, amazing unit. I mean, seriously guys, I've always wished for a Total War set during the rise of Ottoman power and the siege of Constantinople, that fabled mythical siege, and this mod does such a good job of fulfilling that dream already, of making that come true, especially when it comes to campaign mechanics, where it seems the modders did everything in their power to innovate with. There's a unique script here that gives cities a bigger garrison than what vanilla Medieval 2 would offer, which I have to say makes a massive difference to how you plan expansion. There's a historical path mechanic that essentially steers various factions and events down how they progressed as historically as possible through events like the Mamluk Siege of Rhodes, the Transylvanian Peasant Revolt, and even scripted new mercenaries for hire. There were actual real mercenaries in this time period. One of the most innovative scripts here that I think the team did a very impressive job on is the raiding script, and what that does is it adds a random AI army, a small army, you know, nothing major, that has a certain low percentage chance to pop up in a region and begin raiding your land. lands. So what they'll do is they stay stationary on a tile, and after a few turns that tile will be pillaged, causing public disorder and a decrease in regional wealth. Also, there are historical raids scripted in as well. So you've got the Akinji raids, the Tatar raids, Hospitaller raids, and every time a port is blockaded, there's a small chance a raid might happen there on that port as well, which is just really, really cool. So just overall, such an amazing suite of immersive gameplay that truly elevates the variety of content and challenges that the player might face from turn to turn. Over on the battles, things look and feel really good as well. Yes, it's medieval too, so the visuals compared to the more modern games look a bit dated, but the team have done so much work here to create custom units with unique models for armor, weaponry, and more, all based on historical research, of course, as well, to bring all of these major and minor powers to life in the battlefield. Having played the Ottomans mainly in my campaign so far, they're quite evenly balanced against other factions, with cavalry being quite a solid asset and infantry being quite subpar, of course, versus other European nations. But the point really is, the battles are just really good fun. It's great to watch Medieval 2 combat animations again, great to see visually stunning units of this time period clash in huge battles, and the team have done wonders to make sure the battles are just as well done and polished as the campaign, which just goes such a long way for success here. From new victory conditions to dynamic missions to the extensive building trees and the sheer scale and variety of the cities across the map, the crown and ancillary system, the new settlement administration policies. This is such an immense mod, guys. It's easily one of the best mods out there for Medieval 2, and I'm only just scratching the surface of what makes it special here in this video. More than anything really though, I'm actually super happy and excited to be finally playing an insanely well-made Total War campaign set in one of the most interesting and chaotic periods in European history. I can't wait to get through more of my Ottoman campaign, to get started with other factions like Genoa, Austria, or the Romans, and with the amount of content and attention to detail the modders have put into Fall of Constantinople, it's easily gonna be one of my most played mods for the next few weeks at least. Finally, it's worth saying that this is just the first release. The team has plans to revamp unit rosters for plenty of factions, as well as build out more events and mechanics, and the ultimate ambition here, which is just mind-boggling to me, is to eventually merge their original 1345 campaign with this new 1448 campaign to create a massive 250 years Total War campaign that will blow the socks off any other Total War player interested in immersive and engaging historical Total War gameplay. So the future is very, very bright here. Overall, Fall of Constantinople is oozing with replayability and polished, beautiful Total War content. I mean, honestly, this is what Creative Assembly should be doing in a new Medieval 3 Total War, hopefully in the future, and it's already happening now in this Medieval 2 mod. Dozens of factions set in a time of immense conflict on a campaign map of huge scale with historical immersion that not many other mods out there can achieve is seriously an impressive accomplishment, and it's all totally free. Modders really are the angels of the Total War community. They continue to create for the benefit of all, and 1448 here is an excellent example of how dedicated they are to fun and authentic Total War gameplay. And that's it for today, guys. 2 years in the making, the new Tsardoms campaign is here, and I promise it will not disappoint. As I've said before, the mod is available to download and install from the Tsardoms ModDB page, which I've linked below. There's also a Total War Center page where you can find frequently asked questions, get in touch with the modders, and find out more information about all the new features, the amazing mechanics, and their factions in this incredible mod. I really hope you're as excited for this as I am and that you enjoyed this video today. If you did, give the video a like and let me know what you think of everything you've seen here today in 1448 Fall of Constantinople. Subscribe to the channel for more Total War content, gameplay, and news, and thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.